oily. Let me shut this a little bit. I don't think you guys can see me correctly. Hold on. Whoa. It's very humid outside. There we go. Whew. I just noticed how greasy. I look all oily. I'm sorry about that. Peace, YouTube. This is Fleurbrun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. Check on him. It may not stay outside too long. Check on in. I'm sorry I look so oily. It's Africa in Orlando. It is literally Africa. Very much so. Let me cover my goodies. Okay. So check on in. Peace to the east, the west, the north, and the south. This is Fleurbrun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. So we are going to have a very interesting big up to the sea stars and sun stars who made me alert about what was going on via Wi-Fi. Yeah, we're in Africa. If you don't know about the PoleShift, you should be figuring it out about now. If you're living anywhere in North America, you are experiencing Africa heat because the PoleShift is already happening as we speak. Okay, so let's get in. Yeah, I mean, whew. Okay, so let's get into conversation. We want to discuss the Wayfair debacle and what's going on, and I literally am quite disgusted, but you know how I feel. When I get my weapons of mass destruction to deal with these this is what happens when people deal with children and rape children and try to kidnap them. But I'm gonna leave my my finger. This is one of the things that I wear if one of these mofos think that they're gonna come upon me and mine. Okay, so it's an invitation to those who will get hurt, who want to get hurt. Maybe they do. So we're going to talk about the Wayfair debacle and hey, Narda, and the absolute atrocities that are occurring to children and women. And I want to speak out first about ICE. As someone who's come from a first-generation American, my family did come here from another country, from other countries. And, I think a lot of times there's an absolute disregard for those who are first, coming into the country, trying to maybe to establish, a better life for themselves and their children. And I think, what's so disgraceful is that the majority of people, if not 99% of the people that are here, are literally non-heirlooms from this arena. Just because you come from families that colonized and did not have to get paperwork and did not have to get nationalization and didn't actually get invited here and decided to lay yourself and your diseased people on the land, and you've been here generationally, does not give you the right to be disrespectful to others who come here for those same privileges. Okay? Booyah. I see you. I see some of the nasty comments, some of these, offspring from colonizers who sit here and tell the Mexicans or Hondurans or Guatemalans that they are low lives and they are below animals and disrespect them and allow their children to be locked up without the parents. You too will be going down before the PoleShift. Okay, you may find yourself in a cabinet if you don't watch yourself. It's not a threat. Karma is what you do. So when I see nasty comments about, when little children are missing from these ICE facilities that they keep them in, and they say the most disrespectful and disdainful things around children, about children, I think you're disgusting. And I think whatever you come from is disgusting. All lives matter. All lives matter. How dare you? disregard other people's children. ICE is having holding places, and those are really stockpiling places where they take the most, appealing of those children, the girls and little boys, and they sell them. And all those missing children are going into these cabinetries. I can almost predict that. Okay? So stop it already. I am first generation American. I am proud. My parents did really well here. I don't like hearing when people who are 3 and 4 generations into colonization have the audacity to talk about foreigners coming here when in fact they were the foreigners coming here and they didn't even do anything to have the right to come here. Ask the indigenous how they feel about the people here who are saying things about foreign people. Mexicanos, the Hondurans, the Guatemalans, those were people that actually were from here. They actually lived here. They actually were in North America, and this is their home. All those borders that were created were after. It's amazing to me that people will create borders after they violate other people's space. So the same people who violated someone else's space have the audacity to create a border to keep others that were naturally from here, cousins from here, out of the country. I'm sorry. I just saw a comment and I got into it a little bit and I backed off. I'm just tired of that. There's a lot of empty seaters here. And these are the type of people that will close their eyes to other children being missing. Now let's go into the Wayfair, okay? What you're starting to see, family, is the desperation. This is the desperation of a dark underground force that has always coexisted here. The problem is that most people have been complicit and not noticed. Remember, those of us in communities where we see the children missing more so than other communities, we take note of that more. So this isn't new to some people and this is newer to others. The difference is it's more brandish and it's more brazen how they're doing things now. The wicked are now being seen fully in full light. Okay, the light is being shown. Wayfair, Amazon, all of these companies, you think they don't know that $10,000 cushions aren't appropriate? Thank you, my love. Thank you, Faith. You think they don't know that that's not appropriate to sell $14,000 for dirty cabinets? So when I heard about it, I'm shocked at how brazen. Well, I'm not really shocked. I was just shocked at the information coming out so overtly. But I'm letting you know there isn't anything new under the sun. Those babies, those women that are missing that are in those cabinetry, why aren't the FBI and the CIA going in and doing sweeps of the people who purchased them? Why aren't they doing sweeps of the companies that are selling them? Have you heard of any arrests regarding these outrageous posts and these companies, the company Wayfair? Is there any consequence that we're seeing and hearing about this? You know why there isn't? Because everyone has been complicit, family. We are pre-PoleShift. They are bringing everything out. They are stockpiling so that they can leave, family. They are stockpiling. They're getting rid of their overhaul so they can go underground comfortably. So they're going to make people spend as much money as possible so they can stockpile and go under the ground for the PoleShift. These women and children are being sold, and we don't even know if they're alive. It could be a corpse, because these bastards like to have sex with corpses and animals. We got something for you. You sit in here, you think that this is new. This isn't new, family. This isn't new. They're stockpiling so that they can be nice and comfortable in their controlled air facilities under the ground. They're going to get as much out of you as possible. They're trying to squeeze as much out of the lemon so they can go and sleep comfortably in their coffins, in their dark coffins underneath the grounds. $10,000 for it. Big up to Jax. Now, I'm going to share Jax's links. I got to be careful. Jax has just sent me one of his videos, and also he is on another site. So for all those who are part of Jax's original, I love that, many of us were crossing, a lot of you crossed, to my channel from Jax's channel. So big up to Jax. He does the work. He has an amazing intel, and he shared a video, and I will share his site in my comments. I cannot share it overtly because, as you know, he was banned from YouTube from us blowing spots on the truth. Okay, so we will make sure, I'll make sure I share that in what post the actual video. I'll share it with you. Okay. I just really, I'm looking at the Wayfair stuff. I'm looking at the cabinets. I'm looking at the references to the children that were missing. Some of these babies have been missing since 2015. How do people sleep at night? This is what I'm saying now. Yes, I'm looking side-eyed, and yes, I'm judging a lot of fake freakers. I'm not cursing. Fake freakers. I'm looking at y'all. You knew we talked about all these brown children and women missing for the last 2 years. These beautiful little Latino and brown children. There are lunar children as well, but it is a grandiose amount of melanated children that have been missing over the last 2 years. It's been spiking. They're kidnapping women in broad daylight right now. They're asking for brown women to give their eggs up and their babies up. They're taking babies out of women's wombs right now. Listen, they're coding the names with the children and giving the location. We've said it. Instead of sitting there picketing, see, you know what's so fake? Y'all are so concerned when a man who's a Mason, who's faking, when you have false flags, creating all this racial complexion issues, but nobody cares about the babies. Why weren't you guys burning up the buildings when 10,000 babies were missing? Why weren't you guys burning up the place? Why weren't you burning up the place when you heard all these little girls missing? What do you think, they're playing patty cake with the little girls? What do you think these small penis wand men are doing? What do you think, they're playing patty cake? Patty cake, baker's man. What do you think they're doing with these babies? You think they're playing tag? You think they're being treated well? See, it's okay when it's other people's children that don't look like yours, but remember, it comes to your door eventually. It comes to your door eventually. What you allow for one will eventually come to you. See, complacency does not exonerate you from karma. If I'm sitting in a car and driving a car and my homie's going in robbing a bank, that is, I am a co-pilot to the crime. It doesn't matter if I knew they ran in the bank. If they come out and get in my car and I say 0, that means I am as culpable for the crime. All babies matter. Why don't we say something about that? There shouldn't be a time a mother should feel a certain way that her child is missing, and that we know that police will not look as hard if the color of her skin is a little deeper than tan. Mothers, stand up. Watch the babies, and don't just watch yours. Watch everyone's baby. Every baby I see in the street, every little girl, whether she's light skin or brown skin, those are my babies. If they come in my peripheral, those are my children. I watch babies like I watch my own. Every child matters to me. I don't care if you're an enemy. I don't care if you're a friend. If I see your little one outside, that baby will be watched like a hawk under my guide. You got these bastards taking kids, and the foster care program needs to be revamped. We need to get these babies out of foster care, because a lot of these are railroads into the underground of the dark web. There shouldn't be a time you got foster kids going into a home where you have these grown men looking at these little girls. I don't agree with that. Money and children don't mix. If you got to pay a people to take children, they shouldn't have the children. The money should go directly to the babies in that baby's bank account. And it should only be accessed on their behalf. The compensation should be maybe something else other than monetary, because that whole system is creating a dark web of ways that babies can be taken. And ICE needs to be shut down. If you can't shut the borders, you don't keep a baby from their parents. What's wrong with you? You got Wayfair selling cabinets with missing babies and women's faces on it, or they're coded on it. What kind of world? You have vampires, family. See, if you didn't think vampires existed, you just got the update 101. Vampires exist. They are eating babies, they are raping babies, and they are selling babies. They're getting them in the wombs. You women need to stop going to abortion clinics, because some of those babies that live from the abortions are taken and put somewhere and experimented on. Yes, I'm talking to you. Stop sleeping with men that don't love you, and don't give birth to children. Don't get pregnant with children you don't want. When you think you're murdering, allowing another person to murder your child, you would be horrified to know that that little baby they take from your womb could possibly be living. I'm sorry. We are in that time, family. The dark cabal is stockpiling. You are seeing it in real time. What we've been speaking about for years, now you get to witness it. If you know of some child that is being raped, if you know of some parents that you suspect, I would prefer that you be a Karen and make sure you protect that baby, rather than you be someone who talks about the baby after the fact that it's gone or hurt or harmed. We're in those days, family. We're in those days. Wayfair should be shut down. Any company that has been keeping this and allowing people to do that, we need to make sure it's shut down. There shouldn't be anybody shopping from Wayfair. They need to have a swift financial consequence. See, remember, these bastards don't learn. The only way that they get consequences or feel it is if you hit their pockets or their lives or threatened or taken. That's the only way they learn. Y'all shouldn't be shopping at any of these companies. And Amazon, I just showed you the picture. Absolutely, Yafi. Amazon, the one company that we all shop from, has the audacity to have pillows for a comforter for $10,000. Come on now. Ooh, I got people. I'm loud. Hold on, family. It's hot out here. I can't go in. I have a napping little one. I can't be loud in my house. Woo. Hold on. You know when you want those fans? I had those fans, but we broke it at the beach. I have one of those, you know, those steamer fans? I have it, but I broke it at the beach. I don't use AC. You know, I don't use AC. I'm not a fan of AC. AC has a lot of, you know, I prefer to be hot than to put on the air. You know what I mean? Thank you, Thor. I'll cool down. I just need to cool down my my temperature range. I'm just saying, family, Wayfair, Amazon, I don't know whether the companies are all going to be, they need to be, now we understand why they burned Amazon down. Do you remember when somebody burned the company up? See, whenever you see things like that, we see one aspect, but then there are other aspects we need to see. There are other aspects we don't know that are going on in the works. Maybe perhaps the reason why they burned down those warehouses is something other than we knew about. Maybe there was really a rhyme and reason why they burned those that facility down. Those facilities. It's part of evidence. Exactly. Fires mean evidence destroyed. Very good. Yeah, I agree. Remember that? We sometimes we don't see it and we don't know what it is, and now it's kind of making sense to me. Maybe there was something in those cabinets or those warehouses that they were trying to, you know, get rid of, and who's to say there were little people in there? We need to send our shield is going up on the 13th. This is a very powerful shield, family. I hope that you know, we always add things to our shield, but we need to send a level of shielding for these babies and these women that might be in these containers. There was 13, big up to Jax. Jax made a video, and I'll share it on Cypher. Cypher, you'll get to see the video. See, he's on Facebook. And again, I will share Jax's I will share Jax's links in this video when we're done. So in the description, you'll see Jax's new where he is, and also you'll see Jax on Facebook. Okay, so I'll share that right after. But he shared his video with me, and yes, and this is listen, my sea stars yesterday. Big up to everyone on IG last night. We were on IG last night until late. It was beautiful. I talked to a lot of sea stars. A lot was revealed. It was amazing. So thank you for joining me on IG last night. That's our hold on. That was our IG late night. And what is going on? We were on we did a little, show on IG, and I love getting all of these sea stars coming in, and, it's very necessary. But I tell you, sea stars, listen, I told you yesterday, you see Fleurbrun, listen, I'm about that life. Okay. They are brazen right now. Do you understand me? You must protect all babies, not just yours. Stop being selfish. Stop being selfish. You need to protect all babies at this point. Do you understand? That is our duty as women on this planet. Men are supposed to protect us, but women, we are the nurturers and we are the protectors of the babies. We have to protect the babies, and we have to lend ourselves to young sea stars who aren't in the know. Do you understand me? There shouldn't be a baby anywhere near you that does not have some sort of protection because you're in the know. It is our responsibility as earthlings to do so. That's necessity. Okay? If you know that a mother is on drugs, there's some young people on drugs, you don't know what's going on. If you hear, foster parents, and they're a little left, you do your spy zones. And you make sure, I don't care if you just have to impede a little bit and say, hey, I wanted to bring, some stuff for the babies. I wanted to see, I bring some books, check on the babies, check on them. Check the mothers. Sometimes we got some empty seater moms out here. I'm serious. We do. There's some moms out here who are loosey-goosey. They're not really right in their head. And it's understandable because we don't know what journey they've been through. Some mothers have been so abused you get mothers that were abused themselves and they just don't have the capability of being nurturing. I get it. I understand that. But it is our right, and it is our duty as the women on this planet to protect all the babies. Okay? Every baby matters. So if you know of anyone I'm talking about, I don't care if you live in the hood. I don't care if you live in Beverly Hills. I don't care if you live in the Berkshires or in anywhere. Babies are hurt everywhere. If you see anything crazy, I would prefer you be wrong than you be I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold my phone. I'm hot. I wish I had a way to free all the babies. I wish, that's like my thing. I wish I had a way to save all the babies. I don't know. There's so many things going on with this, there's got to be a way that we can create an underground railroad for the babies. You know what I mean? So we have, because I know a lot of phenomenal mothers and grandmothers, and I really wish, it's like, what do we do when we find these women, or we know where they are? Where do we bring them? Is there somewhere where we can bring them? We got to be careful, because these dark Kabbalists, these bastards, they're occultists, they're Satanists, they're sick, they're doing spirit cooking. The worst thing is for, us to find them and having a way to care for them. We do need it. And I think it's necessary. Like safe houses, we have a few, but not enough. It's not enough, and we can't. And I don't want to. I don't want to exceed the resources of some, because we don't want to cause. It's like we need to have enough. And it doesn't need to be something dirty. You got to be careful. It's not money. We need safe homes, and then we can filter things along those homes. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, my love. Mamas just need to handle the business altogether. I hear that. And mamas, please, I told you yesterday, make sure you aren't letting these people in your house. Some of these men get with women to set them up. And men, Please, you have some women out here. I want to be an equal opportunist in this way. Some of these women out here aren't right in their head and they will sell your children out. You know, I see men more so. Nobody talks about this. Men will allow a woman around their child like as soon as he starts dating her. And he will let a stranger watch his child immediately. I see that a lot. Nobody talks about that. You have men that aren't right. We always talk about women and their culpability, but some of you men got to get up on your security in your house. There are women. You shouldn't let anybody around your children like that. You should not let any woman around your child that you just meet and that you're smashing. Because you're smashing her and she seems sweet. Women are very competitive because we've been ruined. We've been conditioned to be that way. So you take a woman around a child and she knows the other baby's mother. That's not a woman you should let around your baby, because she will set your child up. And next thing you know, your child is missing. Okay? Hold on, family. I've got, it's like, there's like android mosquitoes all over the place. Listen, yeah, I did. I got that. Okay? So I'm just putting that out there, because a man said, how come you don't ever speak on the women? Yes, there's some nasty women out here. If she's a thought and she's loose and she just wants to be with you, she don't want your offspring around her. She may set your offspring up. And then next thing you know, your child is being hurt. You know, look at every Disney movie. It's always the stepmother. Okay, I'm not saying stepmothers do that. Not all. I know some amazing stepmothers. Don't get it twisted. But a lot of you men are loosey-goosey. You get happy because you got a new woman and you want to smash her in your house. So you want to put her on as your second mother, you know, like sister wives. That ain't somebody she's got to build that trust with you first before you bring her around your child. And then she also has to prove that she's capable, or she's even in the mindset of being a healthy person to be around your offspring. Get up on that. Okay? Because we don't talk about how many women are setting up children to be taken as well. So stop it. You know, stop it already. Everybody's suspect at this point. There shouldn't be anybody around your child that has not been vetted. Okay? These bastards, listen. They shouldn't be coming into your den either. I keep my cubs and my den protected. Protect your dens, mothers. Protect your dens. We got these these women being sold in cabinets for $14,000. That's insane. Do you hear me? $14,000 in cabinets, Wayfair, and Wayfair. What is your spokesman? Where's the Did anyone hear any spokesperson for Wayfair or Amazon? Where are the spokespeople? Where are your PR people? Where are they? Come on. Where are the spokespeople? Any spokespeople talk on behalf of Wayfair? Anybody? You telling me that we all blew this spot and they didn't even talk about it yet? What? Because probably a lot of them are part of the Satanist sect. These mofos didn't think you would catch on. See, this is the age of Aquarius. Aquarius brings in truth. There won't be anything hidden. Wait, the Wayfair CEO is a woman connected to Hillary Clinton, the biggest child trafficking wench of all times, taking all those babies from Haiti. See, I told you she was doing it. Anything that touches, listen, birds of a feather flock together. Why are people parking behind me? Hold on. Why is somebody parking behind me? No, I'm safe. I just, people are nosy and they see me talking on the phone and they just want to listen to my conversation. Sometimes people just want to listen to my conversation. No, I'm safe. I'm always safe. It's just, sometimes I have nosy neighbors. So. My neighbors are nosy and they always want to talk to me when I'm busy. I am intriguing though. I am interesting. I understand why they want to talk to me, but you know, I don't want to be talked to right now. I'm in my zone. Okay. I shared the video on, we're going to do a listen party, I think on Sunday. The video I shared, big up to Susu. Susu shared the video talking about the connecting the dots of all. I mean, it's crazy. When you hear how close everything from Kobe Bryant to the connection to Hillary. I mean, this man broke it down. He's already programmed, but he was sick with it. I mean, it was so much that was on point. I mean, it would blow. Half of you would not be able to consciously live ever regularly again when you hear the things. So I shared it on Patreon because I don't want to share it publicly. And we will do a listen party and comment party on that which he shares. We have to do that. So big ups. A lot of people join Patreon. So that's going to be on Patreon because I cannot do that on YouTube. I get kicked off for less. Okay. Oh, they said I was talking to myself probably. He's probably listening. They all listen to me. They could learn something from what I share though. So Fairway, listen to the name, Fairway. Listen to the name, Fairway. So you think it's fair to transport women in cabinets to be transferred to a location to be picked up, to be raped? What do you think? Where do you think these women are going? Where do you think these children are going to be served to? What do you think? You think these women are going to be protected? They're going to go and be served somewhere. There's a cocktail party right now with these dark Kabbalists, wealthy, dastardly bastards who will serve these women and tie them up on a table and probably eat parts of their body. I don't mean to tell you this. Sometimes you need to hear it raw. They're not going to play. They're not going to play tag with her. They're not going to treat her well. They're not going to free her and let her go home to her family so that she can have peace and joy for the rest of her life after all the torture. No, family. They're going to do harm to these women. And I would hope that, this is how you know that some of these bastards that you call your celebrities or your so-called, the people that many of you worship and watch. How come Cardi B isn't paying the 10 G's to get one of these cabinets so that she can free one of these C-stars? How come you don't have someone like who else? Someone like all the I don't know celebrities' names. All these celebrities. Where are all these celebrities putting up their money? Because they know what's going on. Why aren't they mentioning it? Have you heard any celebrities talking about it? Where are the celebrities? Where are all these wonderful musicians that you listen to? Where's the Kardashians? Do you hear Kardashian? Do you hear any of the low-field Kardashians talking about it? Saying how they're disgusted? Do you hear any of them? Have you seen a video? I want you to share it with me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe they have shared something about it. Share with me. Okay, so that lets you know that they're complicit. See, silence is banter for injustice. Listen, that was my first year of college, my university. My professor taught me a term that I utilize and I practice and I understand. Silence is banter for injustice. When someone is silent about something they know and they're in the realm of it, that means they're complicit or they're compliant with it. Stop. Listen, they're doing all kinds of IGs because they're going to be, listen, a lot of the celebrities are going to be thrown under the bus too. They're all on social media doing all these things. Well, how come not one of them is making a video on it? They're all down with it. They're down with it. Their silence is their truth. Their silence is their truth. Until I see one of them come out about the Wayfair, why are we more concerned about Wayfair than they are? Why aren't they taking their thousands of dollars, their hundreds of thousands of dollars, and why don't they take why don't they take their thousands of dollars and put it for buying some of these containers so we can see what they really about? Come on now. This is the push before the PoleShift, family. I'm grateful you get a chance to see it. Now you'll know, all you people that used to call Fleurbrun paranoid and crazy. All these years of people boofing me, and calling me insane because I was telling you this was what was going on. Now you get to see it firsthand. I wasn't all that crazy, family. Maybe I was more sane than people gave me credit for. Maybe I knew a little bit more before time elapsed that it was going down. This is the push before the pole shift, and it is the beginning stage. Listen, you think you heard it? You think you heard? Oh no. It is more grandiose than you can ever imagine. Everything will be told to you. There won't be one rock, one rug that is not uncovered. You are about to see truth in a way that you won't even want to see truth. You won't ever be able to put a sunny pair of glasses on ever in your life. A lot of these things were allotted to do because people were okay with certain people being treated this way. Now, when everybody's overtly being treated the same way, now it's a problem. We knew. You think I didn't hear in the hood? Remember, you know why my parents used to tell me to stay out of the Bronx? My parents, I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. Big up to all my Mount Vernon brethren. My mother and father, you know why they used to tell me to stay out of the Bronx? See, this is why I'm saying this. We knew people in certain areas where they're normally used to being violated or seeing people who look like them being violated. We'd known this. So in many urban communities, we were always aware of the atrocities of children being murdered or kidnapped or drugged and raped. That was something that was more noted than not. I lived in Mount Vernon, New York. My parents were amazing. First generation American. My parents used to tell me to stay out of the Bronx. You know why they told me that? Because they told me that girls my age, remember I was a little girl, girls my age could get kidnapped and raped. They would tell me that all the time. I didn't listen all the time, and I'm grateful I lived. Me and my homegirls, you know, a lot of my homegirls are on here. We took risks. We did. We used to go to clubs. We get fake IDs on 42nd Street. I'm telling all my business now because I'm a grown woman. But when I was young, I took risks. I did naughty things, and I'm grateful that I lived through it. But it would have been, but it wasn't that push time. We used to get fake IDs on 42nd Street when it used to be 42nd Street was XXX. Now 42nd Street has the same vibration, but now it has Macy's. It looks like a whole different place. Back in the days is where you get all your dirty porn from. All the sex shops were there. Nobody remembers that. I'm a woman of a certain age. We used to go down there to get fake IDs so we could get in clubs like the Tunnel, Red Zone, Mars. I was too young to go into the Garage. Some of the old heads know that. Some of the old heads, you guys know about the Garage. My brother was older, so he was going in the Garage. Remember that? To go in the Limelight. So y'all remember? The Limelight, 42nd Street, where you would go and pay $15 to get fake IDs. And sometimes it worked. Sometimes they wouldn't let me in the only place they wouldn't let me in is what was it we were trying to get into? What was it? Palladium. The Palladium. I couldn't get in the Palladium with my fake ID. I tried. They didn't let us in, but they let us in what was the other place? They let us in the Tunnel. I used to be able to get in the Tunnel. I'm telling all my business. Yes. So now 42nd Street looks different, but that's listen, family. I'm grateful I lived. There's a lot of homegirls. We didn't have as many stuff like that happening, but my parents used to tell me to stay out of the city, especially the Bronx, because a lot of young ladies were being kidnapped. And they were telling me. So this was something we all knew about it. Oh, you got a Palladium and Tunnel in Israel? Because they're probably from New York, Yafi. Remember that? The Tunnel? Y'all know what it is. Jose's laughing because he knows. I was in the Tunnel. It was the baddest club, though. It's like you clubbing in the Tunnel. There was lights and big tunnels with the subway, like trains, like train lights coming out of tunnels. It was hot. I'd fall asleep on the couch. Many of you knew. I was falling asleep on the couch. I was safe. It was safer back then. Isn't that crazy? It was safer back then than it was now. I used to fall asleep on the couch in the back by the Tunnel. And nobody bothered me. A young lady, my little short skirt, falling asleep. Nobody touched me. Nobody violated me. And then we left together. And I went to my friend's house, who I told my parents I was sleeping over while we were at the club. The Sound Factory. I love all you New York heads. You got a whole bunch of New York heads in here. Y'all know what we about, the Roxy. That was back in the days. We had a good time. We were safe. You know what I'm saying? But my parents let me know. So we used to hear about children missing and stuff like that. But it was usually because the parents were drug addicts, or the girls were a little loosey-goosey. You know what I mean? But usually, you know, everything was okay. We're in different times, family. They snatching girls in the daylight. They're snatching young ladies right now in pure daylight with other people around. So I'm just saying, you need to watch your babies and you need to watch yourself, C-Stars. Listen, when these mofos come, listen, he comes up on the side of my truck. I told you I got a lot of angst in my heart. I was hurt. I haven't resolved all that pain that my ex gave me. I haven't resolved all that pain that Nazi instituted into my consciousness, my subconsciousness. I have to, it's like the purge. You know, the purge resolves that. If any mofo comes too close to my car, I will resolve my right to purge at that point. If he comes, remember, don't start none, won't be none. If he comes too close, you know, he's looking at me. I look real shiny. I look saucy. I look like an island dream, like a creamsicle. I look like a copper creamsicle. He'll come all close looking at me. I'll let him get real close too, because I have all kinds of angst in my heart. And I feel like he's giving me an invitation for his demise if he comes too close. I'm just saying, listen, if he comes too close, I feel like he's giving me permission to do what I feel like doing. So women, I told you all, if you are of age, you are legal, and you are mentally well, you have a right to uphold your Second Amendment. And by that, I'm saying, and for my C-Stars that are in countries like in Europe, you have a right to protect yourself, and things like this are legal where you are. Okay? Let him come. If he comes close, just, you know, he's going to come close thinking he can try to subdue you. Listen, you need to practice the art of, you know, acting like a doe and then taking him out like a wolf. All right? I want all of my C-Stars to be armed as long as it's legal where you are. You have a right to protect yourself, and you have a right to arm your children as long as they know what they're doing. Not as far as, you know, weapons of mass destruction. I'm talking about, like, you know, just arm them with knowledge, with information, and let them know that if the prettiest things have the worst thorns. Okay? Things that look really, really pretty to sound usually aren't sound. Where did I get that? I can't tell you. I had this for years. Some of you have seen this. You know what I mean? You just, you know. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I can itch my nose with it. I'm sorry. Just, I'm talking, because men, listen, our sun stars, they got it. You know, men, you know, my mate is, he's lethal. My mate is good. You know what I mean? My mate will take down 10 dudes at one time. He's a savage. You know, I like to mate with alphas. You know, I mated with an alpha. So my alpha is a savage. You know what I'm saying? What I can't do, thank you, eyes to see, what I can't do, my savage could do. You know what I'm saying? When people talk real grimy to me online, especially if they're men, I tell them all the time, I was like, you talk real grimy to me as a female. But I said, I got a dude who speaks on my behalf. So if you feel the need to talk to me in any which way, I'm going to have to pass you off to my dude, to my mate, and he could deal with you. Okay? Instead of you dealing with me, a man should be dealing with me and talking grimy to me. If you disrespectful to me and you feel like you're going to threaten me, I got an alpha for you. And he got party favors for you. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. I'm quite equipped to be all right. So what I can't do, the men around me are quite equipped to do. We need to make sure that our C-Stars are protected, because not all C-Stars have men who are equipped. So if you don't have an alpha on deck, you be the alpha female for your family. All right? You just make sure you come equipped to deal with it. I told you what we do with dudes who rape women. There won't be any po-po called on their behalf. You know, I think some of you have to show an example so that men know or women know not to do certain things. If you rape a child or a woman, there shouldn't be a police called. This is the life that I live. Okay? Justice is done immediately, and that person will be the example. So anybody who even thinks about it, has a thought, they're going to keep it to themselves. Okay? That's how it's done. I think some of you need to remember those days. They scare you because they want to MK Ultra you in the court system so you can be further traumatized by seeing this mofo sit in jail and be comfortable and have 3 meals a day after he's just stuck his penis in a child. I think that is absolutely abusive. If a man in his small, disgusting wand thinks it's sexy or appealing to stick his wand in a child's vagina or anal cavity, he shouldn't have the right to have a meal ever in his life, and he shouldn't have the right to pee through the hole that God gave him when he was born. Okay? I got a problem with punks, because if there's a father around and there's a man that touched his child, and that man is still walking around sane, eating well and comfortable, that father is a piece of work. Just saying, sea stars, build your tribes, build them with women of trust. And if you have couples, you build your tribe, a small tribe of people you trust. Make sure you vet them out, because there's some mad people out here mentally unstable. And like I said yesterday, sisterhood, a woman should vet herself out. There's a lot of us women that have been traumatized and they aren't well. But women who get along with other women, those are the women you rock with. If a woman has a problem with other women, you keep her at bay. She can go solo, because those women will tear down your tribes. Women that violate other women, sleeping with people's husbands, they like to be on deck doing diabolical things, thotterisms of mass destruction. Those women you leave on those life jackets with the dirty men, okay? Because those women will take down your tribe in 2.5 seconds. They're only there to be agents, Smithotarians, so they can ruin your whole tribal base. A woman that hates other women that you put in your midst will do everything to destroy you and everything you built. Okay, so let women vet themselves out. You know a sister who loves other women. You know a sister. She is beautiful. Women who get along with other women, that's who you build your tribe with, because they will rock with you and they will see you as a reflection of themselves. They will even put their life on the line for you, and you vice versa. Those are the women you rock with. But if a woman tells you she doesn't get along with other women, that's not a woman you should even try to convert. That says something about her conscience. That doesn't mean she's wrong. She may be traumatized, whatever the case is, but you don't want to put this is not the time to play patty cake with somebody who does not like women. A woman who has been traumatized so much where she hates other women, that's a woman, and likes to violate women. That's a woman you put in your tribe. She will try to sleep with your husband, your boyfriend, those sons, everything. You keep her at bay. Let her rock on her own. Let her be a solo artist. Okay? Put women on deck that are sisters. That love their sisters. Okay? Those are women that will rock with you. Build your tribes, sea stars. Everybody's doing it. We're about to do, many people are doing their exodus already. Make sure you build your tribes. Keep it, it doesn't have to be big. You just may need another couple. So we have young, beautiful couples right here. You take your one couple, you bring in another 2 couples, you vet them out. They're not freaky. They're not trying to drop it like it's hot. They have good, they have good moral compass. You rock with them, and you guys create your own prepper little zone, and you get your little space, and you hold it down. You hold your fort down. The pole shift is coming. It is what it is. Okay? You're going to have to vet it out. The babies, ICE, I don't know. I'm talking to my Latino family from Mexico, from Honduras, from Guatemala, from Panama, from Colombia. Y'all gonna have to free your people. I'm not saying for anything illegal to happen, but those little children and those elders that are in ICE, they are prime targets for organ harvesting, for sexual trafficking, and also for dark arts on them. Okay, so I'm talking to my Latino family. I love you and appreciate you, and I know it's very hard, the kind of censure you're under, how disrespectful these non-Americans are. Listen, notice I said non-Americans. Listen, I told you how disrespectful these non-Americans are. These people who haven't got the national. I'm waiting for the nationality paper. I'm waiting for the paperwork. They telling for other people to get visas. Where is your ancestors' visas? I want to see the visas on deck. If you came anywhere to this country, the indigenous here told me you don't have paperwork. Where's your paperwork? My family has paperwork coming here. I could show you right now. Okay? Let me see your paperwork. Because those are the type of people also, those non-Americans that are doing some of these dark deeds. Okay? Because they're all under the Queen's orders. See, you don't even realize most of these people that are doing this are non-human and they're under the Queen's orders. They're not even American. They don't even have any loyalty to America. They're living under the Queen's order. A lot of them are in England. These are like the English underbellies. That's what they are. They're under her. They don't even care what happens here. That's why they're getting it all dirty. When when they let their house get dirty like that, it's no respect because they're not vetted in it. This is not where they're living. They got underground tunnels all across Africa, all in South America. They don't care about America. If you care about it, you're gonna have to rock it out. Because they're taking people's babies. And mothers, close your legs. Close your legs, my young ones, and my saucy, seasoned ones. Because some of us are saucy. You know what I'm saying? Close your legs. Do not open your legs to a man who is not qualified to be in your Stargate to give you offspring. You shouldn't be opening your legs unless you want an offspring. Okay? If an offspring is not what you're ready for, then you're not ready to stick your wand into a Stargate and vice versa. Sex is for reproduction. And you should be okay with it. And I'm tired of these GMOs saying it's for otherwise. Sex is for reproduction. That is what the intent was for. You listening to all these non-humans, these people that have waverly sexualities, they don't have reproduction when they have sex. That's their business. That's not yours. The natural human, and sex is for us to create beautiful babies. We are to repopulate the earth. That's why the first thing I say to you, I am an organic heirloom woman, non-GMO, created from the islands. I love men. I mate with men. Listen. I look at you beautiful Aboriginal men and I want to mate with you. I want to create your offspring. I'm about that life. So if he isn't qualified to be a father, he shouldn't be qualified to get between your legs. And vice versa, some of you sun stars, you be laying with some of these thought bots with makeup of mass destruction. You don't even know what they look like. When they wake up in the morning, they still have makeup on. You don't even know what they are. You don't even know if they're a man, woman, or it. You don't know what you're sleeping with. Some of you got to vet out the women that you're with. If she isn't someone who you could call a mother to your offspring, then why are you sticking your wands in her? She doesn't deserve magic between her thought bot legs. There's nothing magical between her legs. There's probably many other wands that have been between her legs. You are just a hit. So I'm just saying, some of you sun stars, you got to qualify some of the women. If you aren't trying to make her a mother, then maybe you need to do a little retention of your seed practices. Maybe you need to learn to master some self-restraint. Because just because you will relieve yourself doesn't mean it's qualified to be an offspring that's not going to be loved or kidnapped. See, the problem is a lot of these children that are being kidnapped and taken, not all of them, a lot of them being kidnapped and taken are children of people that did not qualify their mates and didn't want these children. A child that's wanted is protected. A child that is born from love and connectivity is protected. If you come anywhere near my offspring, I will hunt you and your family down. Listen, if you come anywhere for my children or myself, I will hunt you down in life and in death. I will take out your entire bloodline. I will come back in every life until every one of your bloodline is gone, until I feel qualified to move on to the next stage of evolvement. That's the kind of mother I am. So anything that comes from me already knows it's going to lose its breath. It wants to go. Anything that comes in this direction, it knows it wants to leave the planet. Because that's what I'm going to allow it. I'm going to actually give it what it wants. Stop having sex unless you want a child. That's what I got to say over here. All these babies missing and locked up in cabinetry. This is the problem. There should be hunters for children. It should be neighborhood hunters. Do you know when I was living in Manhattan with my husband, do you know we had neighborhood watches? Do you know that? How many neighborhood watches do you have? We had neighborhood watches in Manhattan. I'm not going to tell you where we lived in Manhattan. I lived in Manhattan for a long time. We had neighborhood watches. You had elders walking outside. A lot of these are looners who do this. Brown people, you got to get up on it. These are a line of looners. I lived in a very well-established Manhattan neighborhood. Beautiful. Do you know they would have flashlight nights and they would pass the flashlights? Anytime you walked on that road, if you had to park, because you know parking in New York is crazy. You may have to park like 2 blocks away. You had people walking outside, waiting and watching you and saying good evening. They knew everybody that was coming in and out. I don't care if you living in a hood. You know, somebody said, oh, the hood. No. What does it matter? That's more so. You should have, if you got unsavory drug dealers, see, this is the problem. Some of you got unsavory people. Listen, even if you got drug dealers out there, drug dealers got parents and grandparents. You don't think drug dealers have parents or wives or girlfriends or babies' mothers? You don't think they would allow a certain amount of watch if necessary? As long as you aren't blowing their spot. I don't like these unsavory characters, but they would allow you to do it if they felt like their mothers, their fathers, their children would be safe. So why aren't many of these urban communities taking as much of a stance to watch the neighborhood? Yeah, you get unsavory characters, but it doesn't mean you're not qualified to watch each other. Why am I yelling? Then maybe you need to leave. If you feel I'm yelling, leave. This is the problem. You probably think I'm a hostile brown woman. Welcome to the new era. If you feel like I'm yelling, then maybe you're in the wrong room. Unsubscribe. I'm not your cup of tea. This is not where you need to be. My hostility is why many children are missing right now. Because your perception of women that look like me, who speak like me, who have a lot of passion like me. I'm passionate in everything. I'm passionate in love and in hate. Wrong room. You know when someone walks in the wrong room? Wrong room. Unsubscribe, like, immediately. You're not here for the shenanigans. You probably won't be here post PoleShift either. Because if you're so complicit and calm about the state of the world and you could just whisper, then you probably won't be here. Vamonos. So yes, family. We got stockpilers for this. For all of my people who are here, I ask that you stop protesting. Please stop protesting. Stop protesting. It makes no sense. You're looking like you're mentally ill. Protest. Listen to the words. To the word the words are together. Are you for the test? Are you for the test? Protesting doesn't work. What you do is you take away their money, their resources, or their breath. That's how things work. Do you hear me? How people react and how you get things moving, or how you get a proper, what you want to occur, is you either take away their resources, you stop their resources, their source of income, or you stop their breath. That is the only way that I've ever seen change. Okay? That's the only way I've ever seen change. So unless you're willing to do that, step back and let the others do that. And these young tyrants blowing up, doing all kinds of craziness, pipe bombs in buildings. Why are you doing that? Why aren't you going to other people's neighborhoods who have the income to buy those cabinets? Why aren't you going to their neighborhoods? Why are you doing that to your own places where your abuelas have to go grocery shopping? That makes no sense. If you love your grandmother and you're living in urban areas, why are you blowing up the grocery stores where she cannot walk outside and get her groceries? She can't go and get her groceries. The elders are locked in their houses in New York and a lot of other places because they're scared to go out, and they don't even have a place to go grocery shopping. Why don't you young people take some of that anger and some of that, obviously, that good state of alphaship, and put it together collectively and do the work where it's needed? Okay? When you have people on Wayfair, the CEO of Wayfair, able to still go grocery shopping in his neighborhood, and he still can go and get the things that he needs, and his family is still comfortable in their homes, that's the problem. Until he's uncomfortable, you shouldn't be making people in your neighborhood uncomfortable. Have a little common sense. Okay? When he's uncomfortable and his grandmother and his mother can't go to the grocery store and his yacht is burning in a blaze, then maybe we will get some justice. But until you're willing to do that, stop doing that and stop robbing for sneakers and televisions and iPhones. You look like buffoons. And I know that is part of the top tier, the Kabbalist daughters and sons. There are these Antifa wealthy children going in there, putting whispers in the ears of children that have been disenfranchised, making them act out of sorts. You bastards need to be out of these areas too. If I heard about this in Detroit. Big up to my Detroitians in the house, my beautiful Michiganians. I heard it from the other C-Star yesterday that we have in Detroit, somebody was killed, and then all of a sudden you have these people that don't live in these neighborhoods showing up for, obviously they're not from these areas, showing up for protests. These are provocateurs. These are paid provocateurs, agent provocateurs that are paid to go and incite violence. And while they go back to their cushy, healthy homes and have warm cognac at night with their families in their very secured homes. Until they are unsecured, then you are not doing work. Protesting is just making you a target to be attacked. Detroit has been harmed and has been, and I personally think because of the amount of cucarachis that was there, that was purposefully set there to set the numbers of more people to get it. Stop protesting. Are you pro it? Okay? Babies matter. Follow the money and you'll follow where things need to be set straight. Okay? All these people who are benefiting off of dead trees and off of dead presidents, these people need to be dealt with. Okay, until they're uncomfortable, this all will keep happening. Cabinets will keep being sold by Wayfair, Amazon, another company will take it up, Etsy. I don't know who else will do it. Until they're listen, I know where all their yachts are. I haven't seen one person go over to their yachts. I'm not inciting violence. I'm just saying some of you don't have enough direction or mental capacity. I know where some of their yachts are parked. I know where all the boats are parked, the boat yards. I haven't seen one person go over there and do anything. I see them barbecuing on the boats and there's nothing. Where are the renegades in the water? If it was really about that life, how come they're comfortable? I'm just saying, I'm not inciting violence. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just saying you're putting a target on your own neighborhoods when really the people that are doing the darkness aren't living in the hood. They aren't living in the hood. They're not living in trailer parks. Okay, they're not having problems paying their bills because the country shut down. Okay, these people have an income for generations because they print money. Money isn't something they even touch. Like I said, the poorest people touch more money physically than the wealthiest people. If you want to do work, stop putting your cell phones and taking pictures. Matter of fact, don't take your pictures and your camera phones with you. Phones shouldn't come with you. And I should be able to say, Elvis is in the building. When I go to the yacht yards and I see yachts missing, that's when I know work has been done. Since all this protesting, all I've seen is children being murdered, more people being kidnapped. That's what I've seen. So basically, you're just giving yourself on a platter. You're basically serving yourself on a platter. You're saying, here's a carrot, here's some lettuce, serve you on a platter. That's what you're doing. There should be no children going to protests. You're not showing your children anything but being complicit and being passive. If you mess with me and mine, I will mess with your pockets. And if I can't mess with your pockets, you won't be comfortable anywhere where you go. I will find you. Let's start protecting the babies. All those cabinets, for any of you celebrities who like to watch my videos, some do, and you feel like I get on y'all, then show me that I shouldn't get on you. Be proactive. You got loot, take that loot and put it towards a cabinet. Let's free one of these women and blow the spot. If you're about that life. Many of you basketball wives, you know who I'm talking to. You watch me, you've got the loot. Make your husbands put, instead of them sticking their wands in all these groupies, why don't you have him do something proactive instead of sticking his wand everywhere? Have that mofo, since he's got so much free time, to stick it in every hoochie that he finds because he doesn't have self-esteem. Why don't you have him put his money and get a cabinet so we can free some of these little babies? Why don't you tell him to go help the ICE children? No, because they're all complicit. They're all benefiting from the others being ruined. So the only way that they can live these lives, is if your life is ruined. The only way they can be happy is when they are making sure that they live it off the backs of those who don't have the income or the resources to do so. There shouldn't be any private jets going to take off to go to the Bahamas or to these islands. Many of my island people, we know where they are in our islands, in St. Lucia and Martinique, and in Jamaica. You know where these Yankees go and stay. How come they're comfortable? How do they go to these beautiful water lofts in the middle of the ocean and nobody does anything? A lot of these are the CEOs of these companies. They're living off of the money, $14,000 that's being made. Wayfair gets money. They get a cut off of that cabinet being sold for $14,000. There shouldn't be anyone working for Wayfair on the top. That should be sleeping really comfortable right now. They should be frightened of faces with masks coming to their houses and their boats and to their little pangas in the islands. I'm keeping it real, family. See, these are the conversations. That's how I know we don't have many alphas on deck. You know, if we had alphas on deck, they'd be willing to risk their lives to benefit their offspring. My alpha does work. He does work. And I tell him, whatever you do, baby, I got your back. I'm a ride die chick. I'm about that life with my mate. So when he's doing work, I sit there and I back him. I cook for him when he comes from doing work. I make love to him after he does it because I tell him how I appreciate what he does. I love him for being a protector of my family, to make me and others feel safe. I grant him everything to me because I love him and I'm about that life with him. That's what a woman does. I'm tired of these so-called pseudo-feminists saying, "Oh, we don't cook for men." I nurture my mate. I love it. When he eats from the plate of the nourishment that I create for him, I feel love. I feel compassion. I feel like it's sexy. I feel like I've done something to make my mate healthier. That shouldn't be a passive position. That's what a healthy woman does. He brings and he provides and he protects. So I do the same in exchange and making sure he's virile, safe, and strong. I feed him everything, every bit of nourishment, so that that man can go to war and he has everything needed to make sure he's happy and healthy. That's what a divine, feminine, natural woman does. Don't let these feminazis tell you any different. They hate men and they hate themselves. They hate the vaginas between their legs. They disrespect their own vaginas. They hate that they're females. I love that I'm a female. I love the way I look. I love the way I carry myself. Me serving and being a party to my man does not make me less. It makes me even more permissible to have that kind of mate. That's the problem. You have all these Waverly weird things going out here with all these non-humanoid type of people, all this transsexual business. No, that's an agenda to make you not healthy in your family dynamics, to make you accept things that are anti to humankind. A healthy woman loves her husband. She loves her mate. She nourishes him. That isn't weakness, that's strength. The problem is you may not have qualified men that deserve that. So you don't give an unqualified man those things. If he isn't qualified, you don't nourish him. He has to earn that privilege. If he isn't qualified for you to nourish his body, then he shouldn't be in your body. Listen to me. If he isn't qualified to nourish his body, then he shouldn't be inside of you. You should be cooking and nourishing a man that hasn't any love or any investment in you as a person, and he isn't providing and he isn't protecting you. That's why some women get upset, because they get bittered by taking care of men that have not taken care of them. It is an ebb and flow. So if he isn't able to nourish you and bring home resources and protect you, he isn't going to get into your want. There isn't a man that is in between my legs that hasn't earned that privilege. That's why there hasn't been many men between my legs. You won't meet men on the road saying they've slept with Fleurbrun, because that's an earned privilege. To have access to even looking at my yoni, you had to have earned that. Too many of you young ladies sell yourself short. If a lot of you upheld yourself to higher standards, a lot of these dark demonic men would just, these beta men, these non-qualified alpha men, they would just be, you know, they would have to grow up. They would have to start building themselves up and earning it. They would have to be the warriors that we intend for them to be. They can grow up, but we have to establish self-worth. Let him earn that privilege. Let him prove himself in the things that he does. Then he gets a qualified woman. A qualified man deserves a qualified woman. And then these babies out here can be protected. Okay? Well, if they want women to do all the work, then those are, let me say this. There's a lot of feminine men out here. I think there's another channel, big up to the Sunstar. I'm going to share his video on my channel as well. He talks about the men that are feminine. They're women. There are men out here who act more feminine than some of the women. There are women that act very more masculine than men. There's a flip mode. There's a lot of chemicalization of people. There's a lot of unnatural people out here. Okay? So there are men out here who like to get their toenails done. They like to compete with women. They want to compete with you. They want to see what you're doing so they can, there's a lot of masculine women too. They want to do womanly things. You know what I mean? Those aren't men. We're not talking about those men. They shouldn't even be, if you are a healthy woman right now, you should have qualified healthy men. Those men who are getting eyebrows done, their nails done, they're wearing lip gloss during their videos. Those are men. Okay. I'm not saying they don't. Oh. Sorry. So I'm just saying, they're wearing all kinds of makeup on their face. You know, I'm just saying. I'm being judgmental. I can be. You know, I know that you guys get upset when I talk about things like that. I know some of you are like, "Oh, this is you're judging people." I'm just saying, to a certain degree, you have to, in order to be safe. Okay. Hold on. To a certain degree, you have to be judgmental. Because in order for you to qualify certain things, you have to judge things based on security, based on what's good for you, based on your dynamics, based on what you want. You have to judge things from that position. So a lot of times I know you say, well, you know, you're being judgmental. I'm just saying, if you want to mate with a certain type of mate, it has to be, you have to qualify. The males who are too feminine, that isn't going to make for a good relationship, because females are, by nature, we can be a tad bit competitive. And when you get a male who's competitive with you, then it's not making for a good relationship. Men have to be very strong in their stance of being masculine. Okay, they're protectors. They're not all fuddy-duddy. Protective men are not all like, feminazis in the way that they show up. They're very strong. Strong, virile men don't compete with women. Okay? That's it. A lot of the men are being feminized through food, through soy, so they're acting very feminine. And that could be the problem, you know. Yeah, I have men all the time who come to me and say, "Oh, Fleurbrun, you're talking about certain things about men." I'm not saying that. I'm saying if we're not talking about gay men. Let me state this. I'm not talking about gay men. Gay men like other men. That's a whole nother dynamics that has nothing to do with you if you're sleeping with your opposite sex. We're not talking about gay people. They engage differently. That's a qualified topic that they can discuss. I'm not talking about gay people. We're talking about people who supposedly male opposite sex, which is the way we were intended. So when you are engaged with a male, you should be with a qualified male. If he is acting like a female, he's been chemicalized or socialized. Feminine men, same qualities as us. He does not. A man who's protective, he does things to make sure that he's keeping, they pee on bushes and they keep the distance. They keep people at distance from their households. Those are the kind of men that are protective. Okay, even beta men to a certain degree are very masculine. Like I said, I see a lot of feminine men and they're competing with women. You're going to have problems in your household if you got two women, one that's active, who pretends he's a man and he's competing with you. He's going to be mad if you do things that are independent of him, as far as like, like, I don't know, whatever you do. Alphas are the ones who are dragged into prison systems. Because if an alpha can't be changed and transferred into a beta or lesser, then he will be arrested. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. Fleurbrun, no disrespect to you. You are followers, sources, etc. This is not a disrespect to you in any way. These people should just stop BSing and just come out and put it all out. Put what all out? What do you mean, the information about what's going on? I don't take it disrespectful. Some people, listen, some of you come to me, you don't really know me that well. You come to me from maybe another channel. You maybe like something I said. I'm probably the person who is less, I'm what I say? I'm not very PR, what do you call it? I'm not very politically correct. You know what I mean? I'm not very politically correct. So if you're looking for someone who's politically correct, I'm not probably that channel. Because people are politically correct based on the ebb and flow of what's appropriate in the algorithm. That I'm not the channel from that. So if you want to look for someone who's appropriate in an algorithm, I will violate your peace of mind. And I'm okay with that as long as you're okay knowing I'm probably not your cup of tea. I will say things. People will like me. Like, I will say things. A lot of times what will happen is that I will say something like, Christians like me, until I say something about being, part of Stockholm syndrome from being a brown Christian. Muslim people will like me. People of Islam will like me until I say something about Louis Farrakhan. So you understand, I'm not politically correct. I'm not following the ebb and flow. I'm giving you straight from what I know, what I feel. I won't cherry pick it. I won't make things appropriate. That's why my channel stays consistently at the same number. I won't be higher than that. The YouTube does not want to put me in the algorithm. So if that's the case, I'm okay with you not agreeing with me and not liking me and then going out stage left. I can be a little hard to deal with. I'm a Sagittarius too. We don't really, Sagittariuses are not known to hold their tongue. And I'm three a Sagittarius. I'm 3 times a Sagittarius. I'm triple Sag, which is even out there more. Okay, but if you want it straight with no chaser, you come to my channel. I will give it to you straight. No chaser. There won't be any lubricants with me. It's not need for lubricants. You know what I'm saying? When you're natural, it's not a necessity. Um, okay, so I'm just saying, you know, and like I said, you don't have to agree with me either. That's another thing too. I always tell people, you don't have to be a cheerleader or agree with everything I say. You do not. Because sometimes I say things and you may not agree. And I may change my mind based on something else I learned. So you take everything I share as somebody, it's like having a girlfriend or a friend that shares things, and then you keep it moving. Like, you may agree with me. Like, my girlfriends, sometimes my girlfriends may say things and I don't agree, but I don't dislike them and I don't hate them for it. I'd be like, okay, that's her, okay, you at it again. You know what I mean? We have to be more rational. We've been socially engineered to hate people that disagree with everything we say or believe. This is social engineering to create coups and to make us more adverse to each other and very competitive. I should be able to say things, and if it doesn't rock with you, be like, all right. But if I'm disrespecting you and feel like I'm disrespecting you, you shouldn't be subscribed to a channel where you feel like you're being disrespected. If you feel like the things that I share are disrespectful to who you are in your core, this channel is not for you. I'm okay with you taking yourself off, unsubscribing. I've had people unsubscribe for me showing a picture of a man with a tail. Okay? Self-respect is understanding that people will show up as they do, and it isn't for you to always agree with everything. How can we move? Okay, so Fleurbrun, how can we move towards freedom of our alpha males? It will happen. It's happening now because we require alphas now. Alphas will start to step up. You have alphas that have been very tethered. Alphas will step up right now. Okay? Alphas will step up. You'll start to see them more. I'm seeing alphas come out of their closet, young alphas, especially the young ones. I see the young alphas come out of the closet and I love it. I give them free reign. When an alpha shows up, I give them free reign. I don't really criticize them. I let them be. When I see the alpha show up, I step back. I let him do what he does. Alphas they train themselves. You know what I'm saying? They beef up their chest. They do things with other men. I love a young alpha. I step back and allow him to just thrive. You know what I mean? Because I know what it takes to start to alpha to start to step into his power. So I understand that that's something that I can't, as a woman, get in the way of. Okay? And it's nice for some of our elder men to kind of, also step in and assist some of these young alphas showing up. Okay? When an alpha shows up, it may not look pretty either because we've been conditioned to like men to be more feminine. So when a man shows up virile and strong and unapologetic, some of us feel like he's a certain way. You got to be careful with that because an alpha is supposed to be unapologetic. That's how he gets work done. He should be respectful, but he has to be able to have free reign to be a man. Okay? I love our alphas. A lot of the alphas are on here. I love them. I listen. I tell them all the time. I got women on deck who love alphas, and there's people who've been mated on here because they met with alphas. Okay, let them be. Let them go and work. Do the work. Okay, and alpha won't always come home. I will tell you this again. Some of you don't realize being alpha is also a risk to their lives. Being alpha, a man who's very strong, he also risks his life as an alpha. And he's okay with it. See, they're built a certain way. It's like almost like they have a certain adrenal release that allows for them to know that they go into battle and they may never come home. That's part of being an alpha. They don't care. It's not that they don't care. They're just qualified to do that. So you must know if you're with an alpha, I know that my mate may not come home ever a day. And I accept that. He accepts that. That's how deep it is. When my warrior goes out, he may not come home. And I understand that, but he's doing it on behalf of us. So when he does work, I make love to him like it's the last time I see him. I'm being honest. I keep it real. Maybe it's too much TMI. When my alpha's about to go do work, I make love to him as if it's the last time I ever see him. I understand what it is right now we're in. And for him to be a beautiful father, I have to allow him to show his child what that is. Okay? So, women, if you want to be with an alpha, there's certain criteria that comes with that. You know what I mean? And that's one of them, accepting that he will protect to his death for our betterment. And I just, I go out hoping and putting protection around him so that when he goes out in the world, I wait for him, and I protect him energetically. I make sure I put that energy on him so he comes back home to us. All right. A lot of our alphas are out there doing work right now. There are alphas doing work, and mine is one of them. Not everybody wants an alpha. I agree. Ashley said no. Not all alphas are, alphas are a certain kind of breed. It's not everybody wants an alpha. Betas are fine. Betas will keep it safer in your house. Most betas will be safe if they're healthy. So it's okay to have a beta. But I'm a very hyper woman. I'm very feminine. I'm a heirloom woman. So my type of man will always be an alpha. I would only mate with an alpha. I'm equipped to mating with an alpha. So when I qualify an alpha and he's on deck and I mated with him, and that's the relationship that I'm vetted with, then I'm all in. I'm all in with my alpha. I'm ride or die. If they come for him, I will lose my breath to protect him as well. So, you have to be qualified also to be with a alpha. It doesn't make me better or worse. It just makes that's the choice I've made. Betas won't put you through that. It's a different kind of thing. Betas, they're in for the long haul, and they'll be more on deck inside. They're a little more inside. They'll do more cryptic stuff. Betas will do cryptic kind of work. They'll do more of the work behind the scenes. There's nothing wrong with that. A beta will do the work in the house. So a healthy beta man will protect his family, but he'll do it inwardly, and it'll be more, behind the scenes. It's okay with that. It's okay. It's okay. I don't want to criticize, because someone said I was criticizing betas. It's not right. There are beta men, and they are like that, and it's okay. And actually, we require betas too, because they do the background. They do the underground work, and we require them to support the alphas who are the outer work. Okay, as within, so without. So we require betas for our system to do the work, and we definitely require our alphas to do the outer work. But both are required. Okay. All I'm talking about is the Waverly, those Waverly men who are homogenized, who are very genetically homogenized. They're chemicalized. I always say to a C-star, if your man starts acting, passive, or he starts acting feminine, watch what you feed him. You shouldn't be feeding him any soy or anything feminine. You got to watch giving him water bottles. You know what I'm saying? That'll take some of that femininity out of him. Take the soy out of his diet, and take some of that BPA out of his diet, and take all that aluminum out of his deodorant. Okay? Stop making your men wear deodorant, because that pheromones will drive you. Okay? I'm not telling him to be unhygienic, but a man's scent pheromonically will drive us, and it will drive him. That's what that's a bit of advice I give to people. Like if they come to me to do a kiki session and they're asking about their man and he's acting feminine, I say take out, because a woman usually feeds and nurtures her mate. So because of that, you have control of what he consumes. Take out all the chemicalization, take out the mercury, the metals out of his system, take out some of the plastic out of his system, and I guarantee this man will start acting more masculine. And you'll see him, he'll be more virile. Okay, smoking, yeah. If he's smoking weed, he's feminine. Okay, too much marijuana is feminine. And it's not criticizing to anyone. It has a lot of estrogen in it. So men who smoke a lot of marijuana usually have many feminine qualities. No shade. It's true. It's true. So, it's not to say he can't chief occasionally. There are men who chief occasionally, but I'm talking about a man who chiefs daily. He's probably down with the feminazis in a certain way. Okay? He shouldn't be smoking like that. A healthy man doesn't require smoking something feminine like that, or eating feminine food. Eating most food that men eat, if you don't know any better, unless you go to farms, they're eating females. So they're eating eggs. Men shouldn't be eating a lot of eggs. That's female based. You know what I mean? They need to eat more like masculine, like shark. They need to eat like swordfish. If they do fishes. these more expensive things. They need to eat more bison, male bison, buffalo, male buffalo if they eat meat, okay? Men who eat very feminine, they act feminine, okay? BPA, all that craziness. So I'm just saying, for the nurturers, for mothers who have sons, this is appropriate to you too, okay? Those are appropriate for you too. So if you are, for us, you know, for women, in order for us to stay feminine, we have to stay off of things that are masculine. You know, we can't, a woman who's a healthy female shouldn't be emasculating herself. Listen, I'm protective of myself. I'm very protective of myself, but I'm very feminine. I'm okay looking like a woman. I'm okay with my hair being natural. I'm okay with my skin being natural. I'm okay with you seeing me with bags underneath my eyes. I'm okay. I'm a feminine woman. Okay? I'm busty. I'm okay being the shape I am. I'm not thin. You know, when people come in here and say, oh, she's fat. I'm not thin. I'm a woman. I've been a mother. I've been pregnant. Pregnant women get a little thicker. Okay, so I shouldn't look a certain way. There are naturally thin women, but I'm a thick woman. I'm a natural woman. When people see me, there isn't any mistaken. There is no mistaking I'm a female. Okay, so when people criticize my physical, because they're not used to natural women. They're used to women that are shape-shifting themselves. They're used to women pretending there's something that they're not. I'm a natural woman. I eat pretty naturally. I don't eat a lot of food. I'm not a piggy. Some people think I'm on here eat. I love food, but I'm not eating all day. I love to eat my fruit. I pull back. I eat one meal a day. When you meet me, I'm not obese. People think I'm a certain way because they see a lot of bustiness. You see me from here up. When you go out, I'm all pretty even. I'm not skinny, but I'm thick, and I'm okay with it. My mate, I don't have a problem mating with any man. I'm gonna tell you that. I don't have a problem for people who call me fatty and all kinds of things. There isn't any man that I want that wouldn't mate with me. That's not cockiness. That's the truth. There isn't any man that I want that wouldn't mate with me. Okay? So that being said, you know, there's okay for a woman to be confident. I want our young sea stars to feel qualified to feel the same way. Okay? A lot of our females always feel like they have to look like these thought bots with fake filters, looking like they stepped out of a manufacturing company. Those aren't females. They're not real. Back in the days, you know what qualified a woman as looking good? Listen, do you ever see the old LL Cool J video? We used to just wear lip gloss and maybe some eyeliner. That's how we used to use, if we wanted to put on makeup, and most of us didn't wear makeup. I don't know, maybe I'm from that age, but we didn't wear makeup. I used to walk outside with leggings, my biker shorts, that was back in the days, biker shorts, my t-shirt, and that's as feminine as our what? And lip gloss. We loved our lip gloss. Like, you know, just glossy lips as females. That's all we wore. So that's why you see me not wearing makeup all the time, because I'm just, the only thing you ever see me do is my lipstick when I love to wear my lipstick and eyeliner. I don't do anything else, probably because I don't know how to. But I wasn't reared like that. We weren't reared like that. And hoop earrings. Yeah, we used to wear big earrings and stuff like that, jewelry. And our lips were popping. Remember Little Mama's video? Our lip gloss be popping. My lip gloss be cool. Oh, the same design. And we make it out of school. We always did stuff like that. I'm not saying that. Women, we like to, because remember, lips, maybe your children should be listening to this. I was about to say something. The woman's lips is how her lips look here is how her lips look like down there. That's a fact. Okay? So when women have healthy, robust, beautiful lips, full lips, that's how her lips look down there. So that's why a lot of times when we wear regular, you know, we have regular lips, so that's like a sexual kind of thing too. You don't realize that's like almost like a cat call. So when we put a lot of lip gloss, we're emphasizing the way our lips look, because it's almost like it's kind of like us giving a little bit of like a prelude to what's down there. Okay, so if a woman's lips are bumpy, or she has herpes, or she has mono on her lips, that's an indication of what's down there. That's just a hint for men who like women. Some of you men don't know that. If she has bumps all over her lips, that's what's going on downtown. Okay. Maybe I'm sorry that some of your young males don't know that. I had a young man say something like that. I said, don't mess with a woman who has this unhealthy. If her lips are unhealthy, that's an indication of what's going on downtown. Okay. I'm sorry. Some of you would discuss it. I'm keeping it real. Okay. So when she has nice, robust lips with lip gloss or not, that's the indication. Okay. Men as well. Okay. If a man got unhealthy things going on here, chances are it's going on down there. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm Creole. And again, for those who come into my channel, I'm Creole. I'm very Creole. We're very sexually okay. That stuff doesn't bother me. I was reared with women that were very free to speak. That shouldn't be something that bothers you. If it does, I'm sorry. I may offend you. I apologize. I'm just a woman of a certain age. These are the things that I will say to you in person. I don't really hold my tongue. That's what I'm saying. I'm not politically correct. I'm sorry. So I'm just saying, watch what you mate with. This indication this means a healthy down there. If they're looking unhealthy, it's usually an indication something's going on down there. Okay? These are things that we're supposed to know. The smell of a person can also indicate disease. Okay? That's why I'm not a fan of men or women wearing a lot of perfume. Okay? Someone's pheromones will tell you if they're healthy. So a man, I love when my mate wears absolutely no deodorant. When he's out working outside building things and he comes in, that scent is my trigger. He triggers me to want to mate with him. His pheromones are harmonic. When a man has a bitter scent, and or a woman has a bitter scent, or her scent is not appealing to you, that's an indication of some probable disease or something going on. Our pH is off. Okay? These are things that I've known my whole life. These are things, like I said, these are things that I just know from being a woman. So when someone's scent is repulsive to you, it is also an indication. That's why I'm not a fan of people wearing these pheromonic sprays and these what are these deodorants and these what do you call it? Perfumes or colognes, because that's to mask and also gets you to mate with another species too. You start mating with species you wouldn't mate with. You may not mate with that male if he didn't have that cologne on. The pheromones are actually alluring you to mate with someone that isn't naturally your genetic match. If you have somebody who has a blood type, his pheromones will drive you. And also, if I'm gonna keep it real, I'm being a little Fleurbrun after dark, so make sure you aren't letting the little ones listen to me. I'm keeping it real. I'm just gonna share something because I think I had a whatchamacallit, a kiki session with a young man. He asked me questions that he didn't know. And I was like, okay, I wasn't offended that he asked because he really wanted to know. And I said, a lot of times what happens is that and also a young female too. I had a kiki session 2 weeks ago with a young female. And I said to her, she said, she had a problem with, she couldn't tell if she could mate certain way. And I said, well, if he's, oh my God, Joe. Oh, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Thank you. I like him in the buildings. Thank you, my love. With young men, I had to tell the young woman, if he's ejaculating in you and you get itchy or it doesn't feel right or you get funky afterwards, that's an indication that he's not pheromonically harmonic with you. Him laying with you and sleeping with you and entering your Stargate, it shouldn't have any sort of aversion. You should feel like a god. Actually, your scent should be enhanced from that exchange. It should be enhanced. You should like the smell of yourself after the exchange. I'm keeping it real with you. I know this is something maybe it's a mother, maybe I'm like that auntie that shares something things. It's something that nobody talks about. I learned this as young because my family is, the Creoles, they share this. So when he's expressing himself inside of you genetically, if you have a scent or you're itchy or you get a yeast infection, that means he isn't a harmonic with you or something's alchemically off with him. That means his pH is off. Oh my God, Joe. Oh my God. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Thank you, my love. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm just saying, these are things that young people may not be taught, and these are things that your GYN or people can't tell you. These are things that need to be shared amongst women, especially of a certain age. So also men, if her scent is something that's very opposed to you from her scent, you should know you should not engage with her. It could mean that she has another male on her. Male needs to also understand that men leave scent on women to keep other men away from her. If she's mated too soon with another man, she has the scent of that man and it will repulse you. So a lot of men don't know that. Like if a woman is seedy or she's having sex with multiple partners, she will have a scent. So if her scent is repulsing naturally to you, it's because she may have mated with another male too soon and his scent is on her. It's meant to repulse you because you're not supposed to mate with her. She's in that process of taking in his seed. So that's why men, I tell you all the time, you should have a woman not wear perfume around you. Women, don't have men wear cologne. I always love when they shower, they come fresh and clean, no deodorant or anything. That's how you know you should mate with. If his scent is amazing and oh, thank you, my love. Thank you, Kaylee. How do I do a private session? They're kiki sessions. You can, if you feel like it. I share a lot here. You don't have to do a kiki session, but kiki sessions, you can always have a kiki session if you want with me. It's in my information box if you want, but you'll get a lot from here. You don't have to do that, my love. Okay. Yeah. So taste, touch, everything. I know this is going into like sex 101. I'm sorry. This is usually what I discuss like privately on the private sites, but I wanted to say that because I had 2 young people who asked me questions that I wanted to share with them. And I felt really bad. Like they didn't know. And I know it's not something that they would know. It's something we would have to share with them. But I had to tell our young sea stars, you should, if a man's scent is repulsive, it means that he's alchemically off. It could mean disease. It can mean herpes. It can mean viruses. It does. So if his scent naturally, without deodorants, without colognes, you shouldn't be mating with someone that you don't like their scent naturally. If he takes off all his scents and he takes a shower and he starts walking around and his scent is repulsive, it means not to mate with him. Okay, same vice versa for men. If she's walking around the house and she doesn't have deodorant, yeah, you can go out. I always tell people to do this when they start dating. Go play tennis or something. Go hiking, and tell them not to wear deodorant. Tell them you have allergies. This is how you get them not to wear it. Say I have allergies of cologne. Say I'm very sensitive to colognes. Can you not wear it? Let's go hiking. And you go hiking with them. If you start wanting to bite his clothes off, that means he's your type. That means he's healthy, and that also means he's qualified. He's chemically your mate. He's DNA worthy. Okay, don't do it. But his pheromones will drive you. Okay, vice versa, men. If she's not wearing deodorant and she's walking around and she smells amazing, and you want to just nibble on her neck, that's a sign she's worthy of mating with. Okay, these are just someone who worked in science and research for a long time. These are things I know well. Okay. Bite his clothes. I'm just saying, you'll feel that way. That's how it feels. You'll know. Many of you know what I'm talking about. I don't think you guys don't know what I'm talking about. It's that male. And I remember even with my husband, the one that was a Nazi. He went and played. He went in. We had a fuss, and he came in and he played basketball. He came in from playing basketball. Let me tell you, that man came in, and I was like, I was going to break up with him. He came in the house with my favorite color t-shirt, because I like gray on men. I like gray and baby blue on men. He came in with that copper skin. He just came from playing basketball. Let me tell you, ladies, I didn't remember what I was going to say to him. I didn't remember what breakup. I was so in chemical infatuation that it didn't matter. He was so in pheromonic harmony with me that it just drove me. That's what I'm talking about. So that's how you know who you should mate with. Okay, they're all in your nooks and crannies. Men when they like your scent, they're all in your nooks and crannies. They want to be all in your hair and also your hair has a lot of pheromones. So women, let your hair stay natural. Men like your hair. All coily hair. It doesn't matter if your hair is coily, straight. It doesn't matter. Men love pheromones. They do. That's why a lot of women of color, when they start letting their hair get natural, and these beautiful coily froze, men lose their minds. That's why in the 70s, when you see all these Foxy Brown, you ever see Foxy Brown? All those women being frozen, even those lunar women wearing those froze. You know, those men used to try to abduct them. They were so sexy because they had all those pheromones on them. Them froze. Coils hold pheromones more than straighter hair. So the more coils you have is the more those pheromones lock in. So men, that's why when you don't shave your hair, I always tell women, if a man is stepping out, don't shave. Don't get rid of your hair on your body, your lower part or your top part. When men are stepping out, you got to create, how you lock him in. This is just 101. You just don't shave. Yeah, I don't care what men say that they like women that look like little girls. That's a program. That's a new programming. That's this unnatural pedophile programming that's placed out there to make people shave or to wax all the time. Whenever a man is feeling a certain way, you feel like he's stepping out, don't shave. Watch what happens. I'm 99% correct. Watch what happens. Your pheromones stay on him and it infests his scent for the rest of the day and he craves you. He will only crave you. The more pheromones you have on you, the more he wants just you. Okay? Women who have the most pheromones get men more easily. That's why women of color, when we stop wearing our hair natural, men stop being attracted to us because they're attracted to another scent. When we start wearing our hair more natural, women get more men coming to them, especially coily hair women. Don't believe the hype. When I say nappy hair does not, coily hair attracts more men than straight hair. It does, naturally. Men are more attracted to coily haired women because we allow those pheromones to lock in. The pheromones stay longer and they're stronger. So that is a fact. So when women stopped wearing more weaves and straightening their hair, men love curly hair because the pheromones lock in those locks. Okay? I don't believe what they say. Don't believe what men say. Believe what they do. Okay? Don't believe what men say. Believe what they do. Men will tell you they don't like nappy hair, but they will all kinds of crave you. It's true. It's true. It's crazy because they'll say one thing because they've been programmed, but they will totally melt. They melt. It happens every time. Go and see a fro woman walking around. Lunar men, brown men, Hispanic men, they lose their minds when they see an Afro brown woman walking around with her pheromones. It happens. I don't even have to pretend. I don't even have to lie to you. I tell you, go look. You don't see them very often because they up in the house because the men don't want those women coming out. You don't see Afro women too often because those men know what that is. They keep them in the house. You think I'm lying. I'm telling you. I've seen it every time. I seen this guy one time. He nearly lost his mind. She looked like something that most would not be promoted. She's not going to be promoted on billboards. She will not be on magazines. Her hair was like straight coils, like tight curls, and it was going up. And she was all glistening, like her skin was all shining. This man nearly fell off the sidewalk looking at her. He couldn't even help himself. He looked like he was going to lose his mind. I was like, oh, her pheromones are driving him. He may crash. The car might crash in front of him. Yeah, those are those women. And then when she gets accosted, because she will be mated with a woman who's natural, don't you believe it? Once that man gets her home and he's made his dedication to her, he will keep her locked in the house. He don't want nobody smelling of pheromones. Those are the ones that are being taken, family. You got to be careful. You know, don't believe the hype. I'm not saying other women because I have a more coily hair this way, but I know what that is. I got coily people all around me. Pam Grier. What? I remember one time my uncle said something. He saw because in the Caribbean, in Martinique, you know, we went to Martinique, and my uncle saw this woman because he was raised more so in the States, and we went to Martinique, and this woman had like the most beautiful, because her hair was always touching the sun, so she had like my color skin, and her fro was like kind of coily, but it had like blonde on top. He said he felt like he was gonna pass out when he saw her. He was keeping it real. He said he was gonna pass out. He went close to her too, because men do weird things too when they like you. He went close to her, like on the beach, and he felt like he said he felt like he was in love. Like that's the kind of hormones, that's pheromones, family. That's pheromones. And women, we get it as well. Women, we know it. Women, we like men who are I told you I didn't like burly men, but I tell you, I told you, a burly man caught my heart. Burly men who keep their beards, you know, and you know, I didn't like it because I thought it looked crazy, right? I know we're talking all kinds of cyber. I'm probably gonna have to take this video down because I'm going left. But you know, men who have their beards and so on, the burly men, woo! I didn't know what that was until I got a whiff of their pheromones. I was like, what? I was like, what's that? I felt like I had to question my sanity. You ever get that? I felt like I had to question my sanity. I was like, what is that? I felt like something was wrong. You ever get that? I was like, uh-oh. I was like, I felt like I was in trouble. You know, like you're a child. I felt like something was wrong. And then when I got a chance to get up close, listen, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. I just never knew what that was until I had experience with it. And I was like, woo! I was like, it was like being on cloud nine. The scent, the feeling, the harmony with that pheromones. That's what I'm saying. Hair matters. So stop shaving off your hair. You know, the only people they want shave. Listen what they did in the remember what they did in the concentration camps? What they do to those people in the concentration camps? They shave their hair. They take off the natives. How did they pacify the natives? They cut their hair. Okay? Hair matters. Let that hair grow. You know, nice. I didn't know it as far as men was concerned, but I understand now. Those burly men, that hair, those pheromones, it's out of control. So hair matters. You have to, hair also is protective. It protects you from the electromagnetic field. That's why they promote hair to be shaved. That's why in Chinois' neck of the woods, did you see in Chinois, they were shaving off the women's hair, because women kept longer hair in Chinois' neck of the woods. What they do, they shaved off their hair to make them more electromagnetically, the current be able to go into their bodies easier. So you got to be careful with all that shaving. And I told you, someone made a whole channel on my video because I told women to keep their hair, not to wear brassieres. Listen, there was a young lady who made a whole video. She couldn't even talk properly. She said I was the demon. She said she saw demons crawling out of my mouth. Listen to what she said. She said I had demons crawling out of my mouth because I said for women to let their hair grow and for women not to wear brassieres because of the wires and what happens. She said I was a whole demon. That's the kind of programming that they have. You will have other women mad that I'm telling them to be natural. What's wrong with that? So me telling you to have hair that you're saying you're preaching God? God created you with hair on your body. Women? It's crazy. I tell you to keep what was given to you naturally, and I'm a devil. No, have you ever seen an animal? This is why I say when people give me that rationale. Have you ever seen an animal put on a bra? Have you ever seen a bear, a lion, a tiger, a leopard, a dog, a cat? Do you ever see them putting on clothing when they're born? Animals and hungry hippo. Thank you, Jose. Do you ever see anything born the way it wasn't supposed to be? You're born with everything needed to survive. We're the only archaic beings, because we've been colonized by other beings and shamed, that put on clothing. My breasts should not be covered. And most of us get sick as females because our breast is supposed to get a certain amount of sunlight for vitamin D absorption. And the babies who drink from a tatat who has sun exposure are healthier than babies who have mothers who wear bras. Do you know that? They've done a study on that. They're telling us to put on clothes because we haven't created men that have self-restraint. But the only reason men don't have self-restraint because we've tabooed our bodies. You're born exactly how you're supposed to be. We're not supposed to walk around with clothing. That's insidious. When they went to Africa and indigenous places and saw women bare-breasted, they called us animals for being natural. But then all the breast issues started when we started to wear wired bras and all kinds of hiding our breasts. And men started to be more into raping women when we started to cloak our bodies. A man who walks around with many island men. Who are my island men on here? Because y'all walk around Puerto Rican men, Dominican men, men from the Caribbean. Y'all walk around with your aunties and your mothers without bras. You are healthier than other men. You won't obsess with breasts. Men who walk around with women comfortable in their bodies don't have taboos and all these kind of these weird kind of fetishes, because they're used to being around women who have bare breasts or walking around on beaches all the time. That's an unnatural case. Men who are perpetually kept away from women's natural bodies, they will have more fetishes, and they will more likely be the type to violate women when they see it, because they haven't been trained. We're supposed to keep our breasts out. I tell people all the time when they come here and saying I don't have clothes on, you should be grateful I have clothes on, because I don't want to put clothes on. I'm sitting out here hot. I bet you if I had my top off and no clothes, I feel more comfortable talking to you. But I'm being appropriate because I'm on YouTube. I don't want to offend. When I start my sanctuary, I won't have breastfeeding women hide themselves or women hiding their breasts. I'm just letting you know that now. Women who wear bras all the time, the first thing we do is we go home and take off our brasiers. We're forced into that life. It's very stressful to wear bras, and breasts hang more when you wear brasiers than when you don't. Women who don't wear bras have more perkier breasts than women who are always forced to wear brasiers. Bras are abusive and they hurt. And it's wrong, and it causes all kinds of issues with our breasts later in life. I burn the bras, remember? I burn the bras and I will burn them again. We sit here and pay $50 and $60 for brasiers to hurt our breasts. So we're paying to poison our breasts. And then when you see a real breasted women on here, I get criticized all the time. Put away your tatas. I was wearing a beautiful bathing suit. Big up to Bikini Junkie. Did you see the bathing suit Bikini Junkie sent me? I love bikinis. I wear bikinis and I'm a thickums. Somebody says I wear bikinis and I'm a thickums. And there isn't anybody in the beach who has a problem with it. I wear bikinis. So Bikini Junkie sent me, did you guys see the beautiful bikini she sent me with the throw? Oh my God, it's so, she sent me like amazing. Bikini Junkie is thebomb.com. Shout out to her. She sent me this beautiful, like almost like the coral reef color bikini. Oh my God. It fit me. It's like a beautiful crochet. You know how many people told me to put clothes on? I wasn't even showing anything. I'm in a bathing suit, for God's sake. But if you saw a woman with artificial breasts, with fake boobies, you wouldn't have a problem with it. I'm a natural woman, gratefully, with natural breasts, gratefully. I love the way my breasts look, gratefully. And people had a problem with me looking like that as a natural woman. This is what I'm telling you. This is the world we're in. You would prefer to look at women with artificial chemicals that cut open their entire chest to put fake cellophane, I don't know what they put in there, all kinds of chemicals in their breasts, than a woman who's naturally, has natural breasts. That's crazy to me. And sometimes I get, like, when I lose weight, I get stretch marks. I have natural breasts. I don't want to try to hide it from you. When they puff up, they go away. I'm a woman. I'm an organic, it's sad. Deceased Stars told me I have to tell people I'm an organic woman. Somebody on another channel said I was a man. This is what I'm talking about. There was a man on another channel who said I was a man. I gave birth to children and he's calling me a man. I have natural body parts, and this shows you how sick people are becoming, where they can't even recognize a real woman. This is crazy. I would think if you paid $10,000 for some breasts, they wouldn't look like mine. I'm just saying. They better look like something that you paid $10,000 for. We're living in the Twilight Zone. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Can't have your real breasts. So now you guys want biobots. You want men with breasts. You want men with a penis and a breast. You want a wand and a breast. This is the world that they're shape-shifting you into. Watch the movie Only on Netflix. You think I'm going crazy? Go watch Only. When you have a man prostitute because there's no more women left, and he's selling himself beautifully and dressed like a woman. That's the world that they're promoting with transhumanism. You don't even want a real woman. You want a man with a wand. There's men out here who literally are attracted to men with wands. They look on IG and they masturbate and set their energy out towards men who look at men online with fake boobies. That's what men are doing. They're masturbating to men with boobies. Okay? And that's the standard now. Okay? But I'm sorry, on my little beautiful island of natural women, they will have their tetas out. They will be breastfeeding their babies. They will be mating with men easily and effortlessly. They will be barefoot and beautifully sexy and healthy and happy on their own. We won't have any shape-shifting characters. Okay? That's not okay. I told you yesterday, you guys keep promoting all this crazy transhumanism. If I told you that I'm a lion and I feel like a lion and I want to change my ID to a lion and I'm going to dye my hair red and change all my features and get surgery to debauch my features and I'm a lion now, do you think that's mental illness or do you think that's healthy because I don't feel like a human anymore? So if I don't feel like a human, should I go and cut up my face to look like the lion that I've always felt like I've been? Should I get you to accept me and force you? So if you don't call me a lion, you should be locked in jail for not accepting me as the lion that I've always felt like I was. If I roar in a restaurant, you shouldn't look at me crazy because I'm a lion now. I've changed from humanoid to lion and I will only consider myself a lion. And if you come against me, you are being abusive and you are prejudiced. Okay? So stop it already. You supporting mental illness. People who feel like they are not feeling like what they were born, it's because they have been traumatized. They have been chemicalized. They are traumatized. They're suffering from self dysmorphia. That's all it is. It's a chemical imbalance. It's a hormonal imbalance. That's all it is. It can be corrected and it can be adjusted and they can be counseled. When someone does not like themselves and they're suffering from self-loathing, that does not characterize it as a requirement for them to start to mutilate themselves and change themselves into what they feel like. I may feel like a lion today and then tomorrow I may feel like a penguin. So if it's hot, I feel like a lion. If it's cold, I feel like a penguin. What if I change my mind and I have all this lion surgery and now I want to be a penguin? What are you going to do then? Because as quickly as I didn't like myself as a lion, as I was human, and I changed myself to a lion, I will feel just as dissatisfied and change myself into a penguin. This is the mental illness I'm talking about. I'm not the channel for you. If you feel that you're conducive to supporting people with mental illness and traumatized, I don't think someone who's been traumatized, who hates themselves, they should be supported in that. I mean, they should be abused in that. I think they need help. I think they need assistance. I think they need counseling. I think they need to feel like they love themselves. They need to be supported. They need to be hormonally maybe adjusted. If I start disliking myself to the point where I want to shapeshift myself and then I want to mutilate myself, you would think I'm mentally ill. Stop it already. Stop supporting these poor souls that have been traumatized and conditioned and also shapeshifted into feeling that they were born as they weren't. We made contracts to come in as we were. I contracted to come in as a Creole, chunky, brown woman to come and illuminate and do the things that I have a contract. So I contracted myself as a female to come here. You are coming here and you've contracted. Those means the lessons I'm here to learn are in my female body. I would like to make sure I'm not rescinding on my contract. People are coming in here mad because they may have come from a past life as a diabolical male, and then they come in as a female and they hate themselves because they probably did some diabolical things as a female, and now they're coming in as another being. Oh, thank you, my love. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate it. Thank you, Fleurbrun, for being you and bringing it every single time. Peace, love, and balance. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. Thank you. I need to satisfy my contract. It isn't easy to be a female, especially a female of color in this time. But I came in as that. That's my contract. I'm satisfying it. I'm having sex with a male that's an alpha. I'm enjoying it. I've learned to love my thick body.
I love to make sure I eat healthy so that I can maintain this thick body in the best way possible. I'm appreciating my copper skin. I love to look at myself in the mirror and look at the copper skin, and I'm appreciating that. That is part of my contract. I have this frizzy kind of weirdish hair. I've accepted that. That is part of the contract. This is what I've been contracted to be. I'm satisfying the contract so I don't have to return in another shape-shifted body that I have to fight. These are contracts that need to be satisfied. If you came in as a male, satisfy that contract. You're here to engage as a male. Don't get mad that you signed a contract for a reason that karmically maybe you don't want to be a male because you did darkness as a male. Maybe you did darkness as a female. And you're mad that you're a male and you have to undergo the same karmic debt that you've instituted to others. Satisfy your contracts. And please do not support people who are suffering from self-loathing. Self-loathing is a problem. If you are coming in and you're something else, and you don't like it, it's because you're suffering from self-loathing and you're suffering from lack of self-esteem. That needs to be qualified and that needs to be remedied, and you need counseling and you need help. It isn't something that you need to tell someone, oh, I feel like a kitten today, and now I want to shape myself into a kitten. That's madness. That's mental illness. Sitting over here saying, oh, Fleurbrun is anti-trans. What? There's no such thing. What do you mean I'm anti-trans? No, I'm anti-mental illness. I'm pro-help for people who are mentally ill. I'm pro-assistance and I'm pro-therapy, hormone therapy for people who need it. I'm not the one. I know transsexuals that have gotten the surgery and they're suffering from all kinds of health problems and mental instability. Nobody tells a transsexual man when he cuts off his yo-yo that he no longer has an orgasm like he was used and adjusted to so easily. Women we have to work for our orgasms. It's not the same. So when you caught up with Toho, he's used to having orgasms through his wand, and now he doesn't have it anymore. He suffers from mental instability. He becomes to get depressed. Then he's going to be on he's going to be on antipsychotics and antitropics because now his body shapeshifted into something he did not qualify himself for. Where women and men are way further apart than just our physicality. We're hormones and chemicals apart, way apart. We feel things differently based on our biochemical makeup. So you cannot qualify a male to know what that is. Or I don't know what it's like to be a male. I can never be a male. You could make me look like a male all you want. It isn't an experience I could experience because I won't hormonally ever have the same thing as a male. I will only be a male from a female perspective still. We have to know this. So like I said, when people are always coming at me for so on, no, I'm pro humanism. I'm pro earthling. And I don't say you hurt anyone who's experiencing body dysmorphia. I don't say you hurt them. You shouldn't hurt anyone who has body dysmorphia or suffers from low self-esteem. I've had low self-esteem before, and I've had to work on myself. I've had to learn to love myself. I've learned to accept how I was born, and I've learned to work with the beautiful blueprint of what Goddess has given to me through my physical manifestation. I've had to work with it. I've had some low self-esteem, but I wasn't going to try to cut off my body parts to work with it. I had to work on myself. I had to learn to accept myself for who I was and work on that which I was, suffering from. Okay? It's a shame. Anyway, family, I've talked to you too much. I'm sorry. I do apologize because some people, like I said, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm speaking my truth. And if, I'm speaking my truth, I just know what I know from my perspective. So I understand that people feel a certain way. And this is why it's okay for you to be okay with me having my opinion. And if it does not feel right for you, by all means, you do not have to accept it. You don't have to be a cheerleader in what I choose to share or what I choose to feel. Okay. But I will be I'm okay. I'm going to speak my truth. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm gone. I'm hot. Ooh, it's hot. It's hot. I told you we're in Africa. North America and parts of Europe are going to be Africa. It's in Africa right now. I'm in Africa, and I'm feeling the African heat. I feel like I'm in the sub-Sahara. I do. I tell you, Florida's feeling like I listen. I feel like I live in the Sahara. I remember we're going through a we're going through a pole shift. Remember the poles are shifting, so a lot of us are feeling like we're in Africa, who are in North America. And then for those in North America, you feeling like you're in, it's getting cooler in the southern areas, and it's getting hotter in the northern areas. We're flip moding. It's a beautiful time on the planet. So I hope this video was okay. I might just take the video down. Sometimes I share too, I want a little less talking about sex. I don't like talking about sex. I get into it because I had questions, and sometimes I want to address it. But again, let me say this: I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a referee. I'm not a neurosurgeon. I'm not a what else? I'm not a wrestler. I'm just Fleurbrun, and I'm only sharing what I know from my perspective. That's it. So I'm as qualified as what I think I know. How about that? All right, y'all. I'm about to be out. I wish you well. Have an amazing day. I don't know if I'm keeping the video up because I kind of went left. I'll see. If too many people have an issue with the video, if I get too much residuals from it, I might just take it off. Because I shouldn't be talking about sex. It's hot. So, sometimes it promotes talking about it. Anyway, so I hope all is well. Mwah. Beautiful. Oh, and I will put Jax's link to his new channel. Okay. So I will do that. Uber. Oh, I got things contacting me. Arizona's hot too. Y'all get hot in there. I know you do. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. If I can shut this camera down. I can't even turn you